Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
The cross Campana! He's done it again! Taylor squares it for Victor Ulloa. It's one up. Ulloa and Taylor! Job done for Inter Miami! Let it in by Morte. What? 6! It's 2 for Miami! Damian Lowell doubles the lead! Some days you can just sense something wicked this way it comes.
Well, last episode, we got your Tom Petty impression. Now, I want to hear your Leona Lewis impression.
I can't. I don't think my vocals go that way.
That's all I keep thinking about, man. Just keep bleeding. Keep bleeding for your points.
I don't know if it's necessarily bleeding as much as gushing at this point. Like, bleeding would imply that we can stop it. Right now, we can't even suture the wound. So
yeah, it's tough.
It's kind of, it's not great.
Or like 3 years ago, I lost a bunch of commission at my real job, and someone was like, "Hey man, how's your day going?" I was just like, "I keep bleeding, I keep bleeding." So anytime it gets bad, Leona Lewis pops in my head. It makes me instantly feel better. But welcome everyone to the Inter Miami podcast. I am your ever talented vocalist, Jay Kington, alongside Mr. Freshly Shaved Than Harrington. Looks like a cross between a scary Viking and a swaggy Fat Joe.
I'm not so Thin Diesel over here. I'm partaking in the fast and the McFlurious over here. I'm talking about family, but I mean family style dinners. That's what I'm talking about.
Did you just make that up? That was great.
I did.
That was great. How you doing, buddy?
No, I'm good, man. I mean, as good as I can be. Apologize to the listeners. I did have a family issue last week that prevented us from recording, so we're getting back to it now. But just enjoying the heartache, enjoying the pain, enjoying.
Hey, man.
I thought as the FA Cup was going on, I saw Lindelof go up to take that kick. I'm like, oh my God, all my teams are going to lose this weekend. Everybody's going to lose. Riley lost twice. Inter Miami lost. Lindelof steps up. I'm like, he better hit this penalty. I swear to God.
And didn't he kiss the ball before March shot it too?
No.
That's
Wout Weghorst kissed the ball and said something to the striker, and then he shot it up above the crossbar, looking like Jean Mota out there trying out for the Dolphins. So,
well, at least one of us happy with our EPL teams. But hey, man, look, life happens, and family's more important than anything else. I truly believe that. So, I'd say in terms of a week to do it, or a stretch of the season, hey, man, I don't think the listeners suffered because it was just going to be yet another episode of us discussing.
I mean,
you guessed it, another loss.
They got to hear my negativity on the Houston pod. So, I mean, there was that.
There's that.
I was able to get out there for that. But, yeah, man, this is one of those ones where it hurts more because we should have won this one with all the chances we had, with the build-up play that we had. And then we fumbled and bumbled and mismanaged and lost the plot. And, yeah.
I feel like that describes a lot of the games, but I also don't like we played better, we should have won. Like, no, we didn't. We this is how it was supposed to be. We cannot finish. We cannot finish for the life of us. It is utterly frustrating, stressful to watch, especially in a game where if you want to talk stat wise, 20 shots on goal, 20 shots rather. 5 of those shots on goal. I mean, another decent outing from Drake. But damn, man, 20 shots. We couldn't get one to go in. They're like, they're so unlucky. They hit the post 3 times. I don't like that saying. You're not unlucky. You didn't You hit the post. That's not unlucky. That's just you weren't accurate. I don't want to. I'm not in the let's feel bad for ourselves or make excuses, man. We're just playing like crap. That's all it is. This team seems very disjointed, and it's nothing new. It's just another week of seeing the same stuff. And we're gonna get into the MLS game coming up this weekend. The one that's closer, the Open Cup game, which is tomorrow. Actually, by the time this drops, it will be tonight. So see you guys out there. That's gonna be sketchy, but like man, it's just getting tough. It's just getting tough, and like there are positives to take away, but like it's hard to even say with any level of confidence, like, oh, we're gonna play well against this team. I mean, I guess if you want to play classic Chelsea ball, right? Or not really classic, but more recent where it's all trying to be possession based, but no finishing. I mean, that's kind of feel where we are. Possession didn't win the battle on this one, but damn, man, like, come on. This is getting painful. 6 in a row.
Yeah. It's not great, man. I mean, it's one of those things where we've seen our fair share of losing streaks. And this one honestly hurts the most because it felt like we were going to come out of the gate, which we did against Montreal, which doesn't look too great now, against Philly, which depending on Philly's day, they're still Philly. I mean, that looks okay. But now we're in the midst of a mind-boggling roster rebuild during a 6-game losing stretch at the beginning of a season with no real chance of getting a solid reinforcement in anytime soon. No shade to Kamal Miller, former 315 Syracuse Orange guy, probably one of my new favorite players, which means he'll probably get sent off here in the next couple of weeks to some other team. And shout out to Dixon Arroyo joining us from Emelec. Played pretty well. One thing that was a giant red flag to me, it was said during the match by the commentators, that Dixon Arroyo is not one of those players that likes to go into tackles and win the ball. And I said, great. This is exactly not the person we needed. And he played pretty well. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but I want to buy into that because I also got to know in that game because they said something like, oh, that that's what Dixon Arroyo is known for. I'm like, bro, you've never watched the Ecuadorian League. Like, stop. He just got here. Stop trying to act like you're some super smart analyst and this dude's style of player, what he's known for. Like, no, you're clearly just making stuff up to sound intelligent. So I'm right there with you on that.
Well, I mean, he's probably scouted by another podcast, but that is what that is. Anyways, I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting here concerned because, I mean, even today, and we'll get into it later, but now we're starting to ship off some of the youth pieces that we thought were going to be possible cornerstones going forward. So the major red flag to me is, are we giving up on the youth movement, and are we trying to get to a win now possibility? Like, are we getting to a win now, must win now mindset? We can't be at the must win now mindset. We have to focus on building that foundation. I know fans are tired of it. I know Miami fans are fickle across all sports, but they have to understand that if you want a team like an LAFC, like a Philly, like a Seattle, it's going to take time. It's not an immediate overnight success, and constant rebuilds are going to be the death of us.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the plan is only the plan until you lose 6 straight, or God forbid we lose more. Obviously this whole club started, let's get some, old Europeans, try and make this as flashy as we can. That didn't really work out for us. Then we went, let's go with this youth movement. We've been pushing that, but now we're 6 losses in. You see Bryce Duke get sent off. Lassiter, I wouldn't really call him like necessarily the youth, but get Kamal Miller and $1.3 million. So that deal is just insane. Like, how you can't really say no to that. I understand that one. Find out today that Ame Mabika is being sent to Toronto for, I think, minimum 100K, potentially 200K based on, some parameters, and if he can hit those, some metrics, player incentive stuff, whatever, however you want to word it. If he plays well, we can get 200, I guess. And they felt like that was a good deal. I saw, I think Ian Hest asked Phil that today, and he was just like, yeah, was my plan. Ame was the first guy that Phil had a say in terms of signing. And yeah, now we're starting to see, after going through an absolute monster of a roster rebuild. What was that, last season? Still probably more moves than we were anticipating making in the offseason. And, hey, we're still holding out for, Messi, Busquets, or whoever our number 10 is. But, I mean, when you want to get a team cohesive, it's tough if the pieces are always going to rotate. How are they going to get comfortable with each other? Or you watch some of these teams play, and it's like they got eyes in the back of their head. They know where all of their players are on the pitch, and they don't really even have to. They just make it look so effortless. And then for us, it's like always such a struggle, or we'll get up in the box and then completely miss the mark on a cross, on the ground, in the air. Like in this game, Negri gets that beautiful breakaway. I think you shared it as like the best, run of play this week. And he's getting up there. And I'm like, yes, it's Negri. Like he's going to take a shot. He's pretty, like he's got a good foot. And then no, he just passes it right into the defense. And I'm like I don't know, man. It's inconsistency.
Not even passing it right into the defense. Passes it into the defense, and then it hits off the post, and we can't even get lucky enough for the goalkeeper to put it in the back of the net. I'm like, what the, I don't know. I was waiting for another Trivela from Negri. I was waiting for something absolutely nasty. I stood up off my couch. I was screaming, shoot, shoot, shoot. And he, for once, did not do it at all. And it's one of those things that when are we going to get this right? When are we going to stop being in constant rebuild mode? When are we going to be able to put all the pieces together and confidently say that we are able to contend in the East? I hate to say it, but fans, we are not even able to contend in our own state right now. There is a realistic possibility we lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
There is a realistic possibility.
Yeah. And
let's be honest too. I am fully prepped for when I come down to see Orlando walk us off the field.
And I hope not.
I know, but I could be eating my words here in a couple weeks. I know that, but I'm tired of being the rainbow sunshine, happy-go-lucky, everything is fine. I think we've done that for long enough to where you and I both know everything's not fine. This is not okay. Look at St. Louis, hit the ground running. Boom, good to go. Look at Bryce. Bryce goes off to Montreal, and he's already picking up assists left and right. Even Ari's playing well. Yep. Damian has already won a player of the match. Lewis is out hurt, but, I mean, he still does his thing when he's, on the field. It's one of those things where you have to look at all the players that are going away, and you're like, wait a second. We are the problem. The way this organization is run right now is the problem. We are not putting ourselves in a position for success. We are putting all of our eggs in one basket to try and get Messi and Busquets and whoever, and it's going to bite us in the ass. We've been saying this for weeks now. It was one of my biggest concerns. I don't know. I mean, we could go on and on about this. I could probably talk about this for 45 minutes. No. But it's one of those things that we have to get this ship right. And if that means, and we're going to talk about it here in a minute, if that means we need to change up the coaching staff, we might have to look at changing up the coaching staff, because eventually it's not the player's fault.
Yeah, I'd say, and that topic has quite a bit of momentum right now, I'd say. But, to your point of this one seems like it hurt so much worse, right? Because we won our first two, top of the East. Like in stocks and crypto, they call it dead cat bounce, where it's been going down, then it, everything's been trending down for so long, just like this club has, man. It's been just disappointing for so long. And then it peaks up, and then you start buying in, which everyone bought in, like, damn, we're good this year. This is going to be it. All the pain was worth it. Then it just drops even further. It's dead cat bounce, and I feel like this team is definitely a dead cat bounce right now. And, I agree with you. There's a serious chance we lose to Miami FC tomorrow. I'm going to go down there. I hope we don't get embarrassed. That possibility is real, and I would say everyone prepare yourself for that possibility. If you are in the camp of Neville out, then maybe that's a blessing in disguise. It is, and we've been as rational as we can be. Maybe happy-go-lucky, as you said it. We've tried to be supportive. We've tried to not buy into the Neville out movement. It's been around for a while. It's been around for a while. And now it's you start to see people that would criticize it or hold out that are really starting to buy into it. And I'm even getting over here like I'm seeing Jason Christ on the bench, right? Like he's got solid experience. Hell, Fetty, right? Pipa, Higuain even could probably do a better job than this. Neville he seems like a great players coach, great culture builder. I feel like he can create a culture. I feel like he can do the right things to please the front office and those above him, but I just don't think he is up to par from a purely tactical standpoint on a multitude of reasons. Formation, substitutions and the timing of those substitutions, just philosophy you're trying to build within your team. These guys look like they've never played together. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I don't want to be like overzealous, like Neville out, absolutely, but like I totally understand it, and I see that side. I know where they're coming from. I really feel that, and I can't lie. If we lost tomorrow, that would suck. That would sting. But if they're announced that they're parting ways with Neville, I'm actually pretty open to that idea at this point, because I don't know how much more of this we need to see. Right? We always said get us through the sanctions, but I mean, hell, literally Jason Christ would be the next man up. Interim coach, you don't have to identify a coach right now, but how many losses do you want to see this season? How much more pain you want to put La Familia through? We've been through a lot. We've been through it, enough. And man,
it's one of those things for me where nostalgia was keeping me in the boat with Phil. Watching him on TV, being a part of those great United squads, watching him at Everton, getting to meet him. Like, that was one of my favorite memories as an Inter Miami fan, was getting to meet him and just talk to him for a couple minutes. Because again, it was one of those guys I saw on TV. He played with all of my heroes. It was fantastic. But the nostalgia, set that aside and just evaluate him based on what he's done. If he would have continued his upward trend by, okay, we got into the playoffs, cool. Now we continue on and move upwards. I'm not asking for a win every week. Like, even if we learned how to draw a match every once in a while, even if a couple of these were 1-1s, okay, I could live with that. All right. But he has proven, as you already said, that he is not capable of creating the proper tactics or substituting at the proper time to get us across the finish line when we need it most. Just looking at the Houston match, they scored in the 72nd minute, and then we started substitutions at the 81st.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What the hell is Robbie and Josef and, Borgelin and Harvey and Ruiz, what are they going to do in less than 10 minutes?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now Josef had that beautiful shot that he decided he was going to crank into the ground rather than crank it into the back of the net. But I mean, how can you limit a talented player like Robbie Taylor to 9 minutes? Like he is technically gifted enough where if you gave him more time to get into the flow of the game, he's going to be able to make some sort of play for you. I'm not saying it would be the end-all be-all game winner, even though he's proven he can do that before, but you're holding on to this hope that Stefanelli was going to do more for you than Robbie in that moment, when Stefanelli, like, his wheels were kind of coming off a little bit towards the end of that game. So it's one of those things for me that I'm in agreement with you. Tomorrow, if we lose, or I guess today when the listeners hear this, if we lose, he's out. He has to be out. There is no way around it. And there is a multitude of reasons why he should be out, but this will be the final nail in the coffin. And if you were watching Ian's discussion with Phil today, he knows it. I'm not a master in body language and the whole 9 yards, but he's tired. You can tell it doesn't look like he slept. He looks completely gassed. I mean, hell, he doesn't even have his mind right. Ian asked him about all these moves, and he goes, well, it was something along the lines of, well,
Pizarro,
we got Pizarro
came back.
in,
We weren't playing on that. Then Pizarro left. I mean, Pozuelo. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. And it's even more damning that Pozuelo didn't come back. Like, this is proving more and more that we needed that pull the strings midfielder.
Yeah.
Like Pizarro's not that guy.
I
know
think
Alex
they felt
and I
Stefanelli was going to be the guy, and that's not worked out at all.
No, I get that. And I know Alex and I had different views on that on Twitter after the game about, Pozuelo should be back, and then she posted his stats at wherever he's at in Turkey. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's Turkey. It's not the MLS. I mean, it's a little bit of a I don't know.
And he was already comfortable in the system. Like, he already had results in the system. But he leaves, and there's a glaring hole. They don't really do too much about it. They think Stefanelli can be the guy. They look like they were just going to let Pizarro play on the left side, finally make him happy. But then they realized, hey, Stefanelli hasn't really shown the level that we were expecting. So now we have to force Pizarro back into that 10, which we all know, is not his preferred position. And then outside the Houston game, right, 20 shots. I don't know what's worse, having very few shots or having a ton of shots and you just can't score one goal. But, outside of that, the attack has been, I don't know if it feels like everything's been so conservative. Find the extra pass, pass back, keep possession, don't really push too hard to get the ball forward. Don't try and break the lines. Just turn back, pass back. Then that guy will pass back to Drake or reset. Unfortunately, if Drake doesn't kick the ball out of bounds, distribution seems to be getting a little better. So I got to give our boy credit there. But it's just too conservative. Like, have a go, have a chance. Again, this game might not be the best one because there were a lot of kicks going on, but it's a stressful style of footy to play. It really is.
Yep.
And there's never games where I'm not like, maybe I love the team too much and too dialed in, but man, between like this and then having to watch Chelsea play just horrible, miserable football, like it's stressful games. It's so stressful and frustrating. I don't feel like at ease or anything, and it's painful and it's embarrassing. And yeah, solid chance we lose tomorrow, dude. For real, solid chance we lose tomorrow.
I think the only person that keeps us in it tomorrow is Drake. And shout out to him. We did not get to talk about it because we had our little bit of a break there, but Drake made the U.S. men's national team for that game against Mexico. And I'm just going to put that out there. He should have started over Sean Johnson because we all saw what Sean did after he came back from the Mexico game. Looked terrible. But we're always going to put our boy up there above everybody else. So, yeah.
How do we not have a draw? Like, how is that?
Not a single one.
That's
what I was telling you.
It's literally live or die. There's no, like, hard-fought battle, both sides win. Damn, that's crazy. And so Miami FC, since sixth in the USL in their the Eastern Conference, 1 win, 4 draws, 2 losses. Hell, I'll take that record over ours. They have more points than us.
Well, you ready for this one?
What's up?
We have scored 2 goals in 6 weeks. And those 2 were against
Chicago?
Chicago.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So nothing against NYCFC, nothing against Toronto, nothing against Cincinnati, nothing against Dallas, nothing against Houston. I was on the Columbus Crew podcast. What day is that? Sunday. And I had a lot of fun, man. I appreciate you reaching out for that one. Funny dudes. We had a great conversation, and they were, all right, let's get to the predictions. And I was like, dude, like 1-0 loss, you guys win. And they're like, wow, you're like the first person to come on here and like not just say, oh, my team's gonna win. I'm just like, dude, I don't know if you guys have watched us, but there is no reason for me to believe that we can win. I would love for us to win, but I just, at this point, until I see it turn around, I don't have faith. And man, losing to a USL team, I think, will be a shocker. And we saw some rumors this week. It was like Tata Martinez, the other coach from Chivas. Like, we're starting to see like sports outlets report about how much Phil Neville's in the hot seat, right? Usually it was just the Inter Miami Facebook group or social media on the Twitterverse. But now it's starting to get some legs. I agree. I think Phil is really starting to feel the pressure, which is tough because, pressure can, what's that saying about Michael Jordan? Like, pressure can break you, or pressure can make you a record breaker. And I don't know how Phil's going to react to that. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's getting very mentally exhausted. Columbus is fairly talented team. Like, hell, they got Zelly. I love me some Zelly. They're sitting at 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. Oh, buddy, here we go.
Well, you know me. I'm Nagelsmann in. Let's bring Nagelsmann in. Let's bring him in, baby. No, that's a major pipe dream. But there are so many, not even good coaches. There are so many decent coaches out there that could probably, maybe, get us out of the situation we're in. It's one of those deals that
we don't need an all-star coach, right? We just need
no.
a mid. Like Graham Potter could probably come in and elevate this team to new levels, bro. And I don't want to sit here and just crush Phil. Like I don't. But man, it's just looking so poor that I don't know what else to do, man. I don't want the club or the front office to start to hate us for just being realistic. But here we are. No signs of improvement, and 2 tough games coming up, right? And Wednesday and then Saturday. Are we playing on Sunday finally? What is 4/29? I don't even know.
We are playing on a Saturday.
Okay, there you go. So not a ton of time to rest. 2 off days and then to Columbus. So tough stretch. Downtrodden team. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't even want to give a prediction because it's going to be an embarrassing one on Miami FC.
I mean, could we reach out and see if Roy Hodgson's available?
Oh, isn't Palace? Weren't they talking about bringing him back?
They are. Roy Hodgson is.
I think he wants.
You can never get rid of that man.
He cannot.
You can never
Roy
get rid
Hodgson
of that man.
He's eternal. He is.
Yeah.
2 things are eternal: Roy and the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. And neither one are anything you want to mess with. So I don't know, man. I mean, hey, maybe we could get Fat Frank. Maybe he could come over and be our manager.
Oh, super.
He's getting good at losing games, so it would be nothing different for us.
I don't know. I mean, like honestly, dude, I think the most realistic option would be. And the thing is, people have discussed that like Phil maybe was just going to get us through the sanctions and then move to the front office. Maybe just expedite that move earlier if he has any interest in staying. Give Jason Kreis a shot. I think Kreis could do a better job. Maybe give Fetty a shot too. I don't know, man. Let's just try something different if it really gets that bad and we're on the verge of finding out, man. How much F around to how much find out?
You know what we need to do? We need to pull a Ted Lasso, and when the owner of AFC Richmond goes up to Zava and be like, you know what? No, you're just too scared to come to us because you don't know if you can do the job. Well, we need to go do that to like Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola and be like, you're just too scared to come to us.
Bro, I would.
And you don't know if you can do it.
I would
and see what the hell we can get out of this.
I would take it down several notches, bro. I'd say we need to go find the best 13-year-old in this country or in Europe, the best football manager, 13-year-old, and just bring him in here. Like, I literally think just because you were a pro soccer player does not mean that you're going to be a good coach. But if there's this man who is like undefeated on Football Manager, he's probably pretty tactically sound. Just give him a shot, see what happens.
Let's go get that dude from, was it Stade Riem in France, who does not have his coaching license, but because he was so good at Football Manager, he's coaching them and he's actually beat PSG and all them. Like, let's just go get him at this point. I mean,
I'm down with that.
You know what we could do? What? We could do the fan-controlled experience for a season where the fans vote on what happens during the game.
Yeah, that'd be solid.
It can't get any worse than that.
That would be fun.
All right, Columbus Crew predictions. Let's just do it. I mean, we have to do it for sake.
I already said 1-0. We lose, so 1-0 Columbus Crew wins.
I'm going to go.
I'm already on audio format stating that, so I got to stick with it.
Going 2-0 loss.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be because we lose somebody due to injury this game because we're playing on FIU's turf. And we are going to come in looking to try and prove something that we're not, to try and save Phil's job. And we just go down the shitter quicker than quick. And Drake's left out to suffer for it. So, yeah, 2-0 loss.
Could be. Well, whatever. Let's move forward. Let's bring it in. Updates on the Eastern Conference standings. New England overtook the number 1 spot, followed by Cincinnati at number 2, Atlanta number 3. NYCFC is in 4th, followed by Columbus Crew, Nashville, and Philadelphia rounding out the top 7. But just a friendly reminder, the playoff line is 9 and above. So DC United in 8th. Oh, Mickey Mouse FC sitting above the playoff line in 9th. That leaves the bottom 6 teams scrapping, listed as Chicago, Charlotte, Toronto, New York Red Bulls, Inter Miami, and CF Montreal. And I'm telling you, watch, Montreal is going to start jumping over us, and Bryce Duke will do well. Anyway, let's move to the West. We've got St. Louis at that number 1 spot, followed by Seattle, LAFC, Dallas, San Jose, Houston, Minnesota, Vancouver, and Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake. That's all funny tweet today, too. We're going to get to that. The bottom 5 in the West scrapping it out: Portland, Austin, Colorado, LA Galaxy, and Kansas City. So, brings us to power rankings. Just gotta scroll down here, buddy. Hold on. I didn't want to read this. I didn't care. I was like, well, whatever.
I think I see smoke coming from your mouse. That's how fast you're
So,
scrolling
of the
down.
29 teams, we are in 28th. That's great. So, second
Sick.
to last. And again, they mentioned Gregory's injury. Fun. I think Dixon is going to be a pretty class player for us. I saw a lot of good things from him, and I actually look forward to potentially, maybe very into the season or next season with 2 really stud CDMs in Gregory and Dixon Arroyo playing together. So that'll be good. Let's get into some news and update for you, which you're going to love. If you didn't already, I'm sorry to steal your thunder, but Ian Frey is back in practice, baby. That might have played some sort of rationale in accepting that Mabika trade to Toronto. The boys got the shifty feet for a defender. And I know you're happy. I'm quite happy as well.
Yeah, I mean, he showed a lot of promise, and we were definitely both heartbroken when he went down with an injury. Maybe it's for the better looking back on it now, because maybe he'd be the one that we're shipping off.
Ooh.
It's one of those things that, I don't know.
God works in mysterious
happy.
ways.
Yeah, and I'm happy, and I hope he gets into that Inter Miami 2 side, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I mean, Mabika started for Inter Miami too. We'll get into this in a few minutes against Huntsville City. So you have to think that Frey's going to get some sort of burn here very soon for them. So good on him. Glad he's back. Hopefully we can see the same caliber of player that we saw before he got injured.
Excellent. So do you want to update on that Inter Miami 2 game?
Yeah, absolutely. So Inter Miami 2 has a better record than us. Look out. We have 2 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws for a total of 6 points. They won a heart-stopping 4-3 win over Huntsville City FC. Jay, if you don't know Jay, Huntsville is one of his favorite cities. Absolutely loves it. Thinks it's amazing.
Only slightly beat out Montgomery for me.
Ooh, watch out. We went down 2-0 pretty early within 33 minutes. And then D'Agostini and La Cava scored back-to-back, 38th and 40th minute. Shout out, Noah Allen got himself an assist for that La Cava goal. Then we had Cesar Abdia Reda scored in the 64th minute on an assist from Kobe Thomas. And then Darian Reyes took the game into his own hands and put it in the back of the net the 75th minute for the lead at 4-2. And Huntsville was able to pull one back at the dying breath by Kemi Amici, 90th minute +4. And that's when the game ended, my man. Second win for Federico down in Inter Miami 2. Some of the youth is really starting to pop up. I know we've talked about obviously Noah before. Benja was in the side. Jake LaCava.
Good to see Jake score.
Yes,
he's the Bryce, the next Bryce Duke, right? What was it? Red Bulls are really upset to let him go, and he's got a lot of potential. So we need to start seeing some of that.
Absolutely. And, Sasaka we picked up during the offseason. He was in there. Cole Jensen got the nod in goal. So it looks like they're really moving towards this youth movement, trying to get some of these guys up to par, because we do have some ridiculous talent below. We just need to get them more game minutes. So good on them. I believe they are up against Columbus this weekend as well. So it should be another good test for them to see what they can do and see if they can build off of it.
Very good, very good. All right. I think that basically wraps us up for any relevant Inter Miami news that we want to discuss. You got one more? Go ahead. Did I miss something?
So we actually had Cesar Abdia-Rida. Sorry if I'm butchering that, my man, but he was the MLS Next Pro Rising Star of the match day for his performance as he came on against Huntsville. Definitely is a name you're going to want to watch out for. I know there's quite a few of them, but they just keep popping up. I know Trav is high on D'Agostini as well, so he said he's a fantastic striker. We should be seeing him hopefully up with us here in the next few months, I would assume, if we keep tanking. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's the last.
Speaking of great strikers, let's go ahead and give an update for our boy Tati Castellanos for Girona. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right in La Liga.
I was sleeping, and all of a sudden my phone started going, zzz, and I'm like, what the hell? And I see Tati scores against Real Madrid. I'm like, all right, cool. I roll back over. Zzz. I'm like, what the hell? My phone went off again. Tati scored again against Real Madrid. I was like, okay, all right. I see you. So I turned the game back on. I'll tell you what, he could do no wrong. He was moving. He looked like the true poacher that you want your kids to model their game after if you choose, if you want them to be a poacher striker. He had the Real Madrid attack and defense all confused in what they were doing. The attack tried to get out, but then he was sprinting the other way with the ball, so the defense had to collapse, and then the attack collapsed for Real Madrid. He bangs home his hat trick. What is going on? Everybody's celebrating, and then you think the game's over. He says nah, throws up the middle finger to everybody and scores a fourth. First MLS player, or his first player actually ever
of the decade.
Score,
was it the century or is it ever?
1947, I do believe. I should take back what I said. Was the last time it was to one player. And, they've played against Messi. They've played against Ronaldo. They've played against, a bunch of the greats in this game. And he absolutely cemented his name in La Liga folklore today. It was absurd. Good on you. I still don't like that he's a part of Citigroup, but it is what it is. Real has to recognize Real with that, and he balled out.
I saw he was the first player in history to ever score 4 goals against Real Madrid and Real Salt Lake. I like that tweet. That's deep. That's deep stuff.
Does that mean Real recognizes Real?
Real recognizes Real. It's all fun and games until Real's like, yep, he's ours now, and now he's a big world superstar in Real Madrid. Or one of the other teams, like the first striker.
One of my favorite photos of that match, I think he was like going away celebrating, and either Rodrigo or Vinicius Jr. was in his face pointing his finger at him, and he's just doing the whole salute that he does all the time. I'm glad we don't see him anymore. That's all I could say. I'm just glad we don't see him anymore.
Good on him. It's good to see. It's good for the league when players coming out of the league can make a serious impact in Europe. So, yeah, good on you. Keep it up, buddy boy. And we'll see what big name club buys you, because I'm sure everyone's probably on alert right now, because that's nearly impossible. Yeah, you said Ronaldo. I was like, wait, what? That Real plays against Ronaldo? No, but you mean like back in the day when he was on Man City? Yeah, they've seen some fearsome strikers, bro.
Whoa! I cannot. I usually let you.
Oh, sorry. That was
mistakes.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. That is so rude of me. I did not mean to do that. Against United. F City Group. Sorry. My bad. I know. That's rude. That was uncalled for. I feel really bad right now.
My Apple Watch is telling me I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah, I know.
It's asking me if I'm okay.
Getting
I don't
some
know.
palpitations. Oh,
Jeez.
man.
All right. Yeah.
I think that wraps it up for us, buddy boy. Let's see how I'm going to say tonight goes, because by the time you're listening to this, probably driving to FIU Stadium, or maybe listening to this at your desk or wherever you are in the world. Do whatever you do. We do appreciate the support. We appreciate you guys hanging there with us. Even if the club won't give you a win, you can come here and get some sort of enjoyment out of it. So, as always, if you don't follow us, check us out on Instagram at Inter Miami Podcast or on Twitter at Inter MIA Podcast. The other 3 shows are in full swing, so be sure to check out Away Days, IMCF Traveler Chats, and Freedom to Scream. You got anything to say, buddy?
I feel like I could scream a lot more, but you're cutting me off, so no, I don't have anything else.
Well, as we end every episode, shorter ones when we lose. Vamos, Miami.
Vamos, Miami.